this generation, there's no true Amish. Then he says true Amish should be no electricity, no running water, no phones, no electronics, none of that, like you see this generation even in Walmart anymore. So not only is that a stereotype that the Amish can't shop at Walmart, but it is a wrong stereotype. There are a lot of things that the Amish buy at Walmart that they need in their everyday life. Say they need a potato peeler, or a set of steak knives, or some dishes, or some cups, or a set of silverware, bed sheets. You know, they need to go somewhere and buy these. If there's not an Amish store in the community, a lot of communities do have an Amish store, but when a community's first started, they won't. So they have to go somewhere to buy them. They don't make everything themselves, and the people that believe that really don't know that much about the Amish, because the Amish have to go to English stores for certain things. Now the thing is, once they have those things, they will use them forever and try not to break them, you know, and try to make these things last. And they are self-sufficient in that way, is that they are not they don't just recycle stuff and like keep throwing stuff away and buying new. They'll use it until it's worn out, if that makes sense. And as far as electricity goes, not very many Amish communities allow electric use or electricity. Some do allow a lot of battery use, but no electricity in most communities. Running water, most communities have running water, but it's only cold water. Very few communities have hot running water. I have a couple of siblings that live in communities that have that now. But most have no phones and some electronics, but things like calculators and watches. God bless. Given the wide variation in rules between communities, what are the core things that makes the Amish Amish? So some of the things that you'll find in almost all Amish communities are that the men will be wearing a hat. The smaller the brim on the hat, the more modern the community. The wider the brim, the more strict the community. The women have some sort of head covering. The men will usually not have buttons on their coats and vests. They'll have to hook an eye. But on their shirts and pants, they'll always usually have buttons. The women usually have no buttons whatsoever. Everything's on their dresses is fastened with straight pins for the most part. And then the horse and buggy. You know, most Amish drive a horse and buggy. There's a group close to me that has tractors they drive. Big enclosed tractors. We call them the tractor Amish. 6 days a week, but on Sundays they'll still drive their horse and buggies to go to church. Most of the Amish communities have church in their own homes. Most of the Amish communities are self-sufficient as much as they can be. They help each other out. You know, if someone needs a barn raised, the whole community gets together and they help each other out. That is pretty common across all the communities. As far as the language, the Pennsylvania German, some people call it Pennsylvania Dutch. I don't believe in that because it's not Dutch and I'm not from Pennsylvania. I call it the Amish language. Some people correct me. I'm going to call it the Amish language. Most Amish communities speak the Amish language. Most Amish men have a beard and no mustache once they're married. In some communities, they have to have the beard before they're married as well. And then, of course, most Amish communities also practice the shunning, and they pretty much all worship in the same type of way, and they all usually practice shunning. Some of them don't, but most do. God bless you. Amish dude says, it seems like a lot of people that have never been around Amish always think we still live like we did back in the 1980s. Back in the 1980s? What? That's so long ago. I'm just kidding. I was born in the 1980s. I don't feel like it's that long ago. I think what he probably meant to say was back in the 1800s. That's what I always think people think of the Amish, is that, you know, they live like people did in the 1800s. But even in the 1800s, people had a need to go to the stores. Amish people even, you know, we'd probably still go to the store for salt back then, to say steel plowshares. You know, I doubt that there was Amish farmers who would make those. You know, they've always gotten farm equipment, stuff like that, from the English world. They haven't always made all these things themselves. And it has never been a requirement in all the history of the Amish community that I know of that everything that they use comes from within their community. That has never been the case. They try to be as self-sufficient as possible, but obviously you still always need something. You know, by the way, if you don't know who Amish Dude is, go check out his page. He's a good kid. He's still in the Amish community, I'm pretty sure. I enjoy his videos. Make sure you go give him a follow. But I don't think he meant to say the 1980s. Maybe he did. He's a bit younger than I am, though. But the Amish have always had need for things from the outside community. My Amish community, there's a lot of builders, construction companies. All the tools that we use were not Amish made. You know, tape measures, hammers, etc. Most of the lumber that we use was not produced by the Amish either. God bless you all. Stay safe.